Welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. I'm Greg, and this is a 1969 Chevelle. There is a 396 under the hood, 4-speed shifter. You guys are gonna love checking this one out. We're gonna put it up on the lift for you so you can check out the bottom side. You can see it's got brand new chrome in the front. The grill's looking sweet. The reflections in the paint are amazing. It's got a real light metallic in it, looking beautiful. I mean, look at those reflections. I tell you, body and paint on the car are phenomenal. Straight as an arrow going down the side. Just a beautiful job on the restoration on this beauty. Now at Vanguard Motor Sales, we ship all over the world, so don't be afraid to call us anytime. Now Tommy answers his phone 7 days a week and practically 24 hours a day. Call him anytime. Look at these door jambs. Look where that seam comes over here, just beautiful. You can see the rubber's been replaced. The door panel looks brand new. Carpeting looks sweet. That steering wheel looks stock. It does look like an aftermarket one. The center console's in beautiful shape. We got seat belts in the back, 6x9 speakers back there in a package tray. Headliners looking sweet. Dome lights working. Now those, that sheet of paper you see hanging from the center rear view mirror there, those are starting instructions for the car. We go through every car, figure out all the little secrets each car has so that you know as soon as we deliver the car, you know exactly what's going on with the car. Love the white stripe going down the side. You can see all the trims here. These are all things you need to look at on every car. You can see the chrome looks like it's brand new. Get inside the trunk here. You can see inside the trunk there's a spare, a jack. Always lift up the mat, take a look. You can see everything looking nice and clean under there. Wheel wells nice and solid. Backside of the quarters nice and clean. Always take a look at the lips here on the deck lid also. The gutters here on the opening, the rubber. Again, the trim on the tail lights, looking sweet. When you look down the side of the car, she's straight as an arrow. Absolutely beautiful, guys. Now, we're not consignment dealers. That means we own this Chevelle, so you know we took some extra time and checked it out before we laid out our money. When we get them back here to the shop, the first thing we do, put them up on the lift, check them all out so we can answer every one of your questions. So call Tom anytime. He's always answering his phone. And if Tom can't answer your questions, I can. I've got about 35 years in the business, so call him anytime. He will return your call. Let's take this beautiful 69 for a ride. We got big block power, we got 4-speed shifter, and we got bucket seats. Beautiful restoration. Look at the reflections on that hood. I tell you what, you can't tell whether you're looking at the sky or the hood, man. It is beautiful, guys. We got some awesome sounding exhaust there too. She is amazing. We got a semi truck here. Which way is he going? Is he coming towards me? No, looks like he's going the other way. Well, if he's going that way, I think I'm going to turn around and go the other way. We'll see what kind of Yui this thing will do. Hey, that's a chick driving that semi. Let's turn this baby around and go. Man, what a sweet ride this thing is. Now, we can ship the Chevelle anywhere in the world. You just call Tom at 248-974-9513. He'll explain the whole process to you. Look down here on the dash. We got the speedos working down here. Gas gauge says it's full. Horns working. It's got the stock AM radio in it. 4-speed feels good. Just an amazing ride here, guys. And we're right outside the Motor City. We can ship this car anywhere in the world. There's Jim and Tom out for a walk. Looks like they're going to check the mail. Now here's our shop right here. We're at 15100 Keel Street, and we are about to do something nobody else in the industry does. We're gonna get it up on the lift, check out the underside, then we're gonna get under the hood and check it out under there.
All right, guys, this is the underside of our 1969 Chevelle. Now, starting from the back forward, as we do, you can see here the frame rail here in the back looks like it's in excellent shape, no pitting or anything like that. The gas tank does look to be relatively recent. Moving forward to that, gas tank straps have been replaced. You can see here we do have a new exhaust back here as well. Another cool thing here is the big cap back here. You see it's all mandrel bent, which is nice to see. Looks to be like that all the way up to at least in front of the mufflers there. We do have a GM 12-bolt rear end here. This is a 373 to a 1 gear ratio. It is a Posi traction. Now, based on the casting date, I believe this is a 1970 model year rear end, but they have added a couple things. The previous owner tells me it actually has a Richmond gear set, and I can tell you for certain it has aftermarket axles in it. Moving forward to that, drive shaft looks good. U-joints are actually brand new, both front and rear. Flex line looks to be relatively recent as well. You can see here that the bushings for the 4-link of the rear end all look to be new. Sway bar looks good. Drum brakes on either end of this rear axle, by the way, and we are at Vanguard Motor Sales. We deal with almost more drums than we do disc brakes, so we do know our way around those brakes. So, and all of our mechanics do as well. All of them get inspected before you receive the car. Another cool thing here, we got a set of Dynamax mufflers on it on either side. Moving forward to that, exhaust continuing to look good. Let's see here. Floorboards, once again, looking really, really good. Looks like all of our parking brake assembly is all present, it being a manual transmission. That's very, very useful. Brake line looks to be new all the way up here as well. Same thing with our fuel lines over here. They look to be relatively recent, no pinning or anything like that on them. As far as our transmission goes, this is a Muncie M21. It is a 1967 model year transmission, so not numbers matching for the car, but the Muncies are what these things came with. Moving forward to that, fresh oil change on the car. I actually did that myself for you guys, and that's one cool thing that you guys get here at Vanguard. All the cars get changed oil before you receive them. So front end, the front end's been checked out by me personally, and it checks out just fine. You can see we've got many new parts. I actually just greased the thing. You can see all new cotter pins and everything. I checked tightness on all of it for you guys. Another cool thing for this front end here is we do have a set of QA1 adjustable coilover shocks here. And it all bolts in direct placement, so you can actually change it if you don't like the aftermarket stuff, but it actually rides really nice with this, and the ride stiffness is adjustable on these as well. The K-member here looks like it's in good shape, sticking the finger in here for the scale test, and it feels nice and smooth in there, so no scale, no crud. Disc brakes on the front of this thing. Moving forward to that, power steering here, the underside of our big block Chevy, we're going to get to that in just a second. The underside of the frame rails here look like they're in excellent shape over here. You can check the holes for any kind of pitting or anything like that, and even the seam weld in the frame feels nice. Coming around to the side of the car here, starting to get a good look at the paint job. I love the color on this thing. See here for tire size, we do have two 25/70 R14s, as being a 14-inch rim, and it's just a stock SS rim on it. Coming to the back, once again, taking a look at the pinch weld all the way down here, looks pretty good. Same thing up around the all the body lines here, and you hear me say it a lot of the time when I do the undercarriage videos. This is the worst way to look at a car right here, and if they look good like this, they're typically pretty good, and the body guy did a good job, typically speaking. Two 25/70 R14 back here as well, like I said, drums in the rear. Overall, looking really, really nice. Checking our pinch weld here, feels really nice. I don't feel any jaggedness. You got to watch yourself on the screws, but overall, very, very nice. Same thing with this here. Overall, looks to be a pretty high quality build car. And now, all that being said, let's go take a look at the big block Chevy under the hood. All right, guys, this is what's making the music here. 396 big block Chevy. Now, the cool thing about this engine is this is actually a 1969 model year engine. However, when they did the engine rebuild, they actually did the deck surface mill, so you actually lose your VIN number a lot of the time when they do that. So we can't tell exactly if it's the right one for the car, but it is a 1969 model year correct. Now, the previous owner tells us that he has an upgrade aftermarket flat tappet hydraulic camshaft in it. We do have looks like a factory GM intake on it. On top of that, we have a 1969 correct quadrajet carburetor, just like this thing would have had. And outside of all of that, it looks to be pretty much the way it should be, the way it was born. So we do have air conditioning on this car. We do have power steering, power brakes. You can see here there's been a couple of things here, like it actually has been a modern refrigerant converted over here, as you can see, with some modern components in the AC system. It does work. We do have, looks like their battery hold down is doing its job. AC Delco belts, GM hoses, looks like they have all the proper tower clamps on everything. They even have the correct fuel filter on it, GM hoses down there even. Does have a clutch fan on it. Radiator looks like it's in good shape. They actually have the radiator fan installed. And outside of that, I mean, you saw what the underside of the car looked like as far as build quality goes, and up here I'm seeing pretty much more of the same. And once again, ouch. Once again, I'd like to point out here that when people typically go as far as putting their sound deadener and their insulation in the hood here, typically that just puts it a bar above the rest as far as restoration quality goes. And this car does drive quite nice, especially with the coilover shocks in the front. I've driven it personally quite a bit, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So that all being said, this is one that I'd invite you to come on in and drive. Make sure to give Tom a call at the number below. Let us get it back down here at the shop so we can make sure it's clean and ready to go for you. And let Vanguard Motor Sales park this Chevelle in your driveway.